There once was a bold and brave adventurer. He set out into the world in search of a flower worthy of his betrothed. After much time searching, the adventurer found himself standing before a large set of iron gates, with large hedge walls stretching for as far as he could see in both directions. From behind the gates, a voice called to the adventurer, "Come within. All that you seek and more can be found deep within these walls, if you will pay the price." "Who are you? What walls are these?" the adventurer called back. "This is the maze of Fathaghn, and your heart's truest desire exists at the center. Only the bold and brave ever attempt to test themselves here." The adventurer knew himself to be very brave, and thought that surely what he was seeking would exist at the heart of this maze. So forward he went and passed between the gates. The adventurer traveled deeper and deeper, walking for what felt like days, often laying down in the soft moss and sleeping, the shade of the walls and the gentle breeze lulling him to sleep. As he traveled, he began to notice the walls getting closer and closer. Branches that once seemed to blow gently in the breezes seemed to almost reach out and catch at his clothing now. Far ahead, above the walls, the adventurer could see a large and incredibly ancient tree towering over the maze. He was traveling towards it. As the adventurer got closer and closer to the tree, the pathway got more and more difficult to pass. Now the hedges seemed to be made of all thorny vines and sharp nettles. The adventurer bled from many small cuts and scratches. Where once there was moss on the ground, now the adventurer walked through sharp and cruel weeds. He also noticed a crunch when he stepped, and soon realized he was walking over a carpet of bones. The adventurer thought, now he surely must be dreaming, as he could have sworn that the hedges were threatening him. Soon, however, he realized this was no dream. Wooden and vine-covered arms reached out of the hedges and raked at him, cutting him deeply and spilling his blood. The adventurer knew the old tales and had come prepared. He lit his torch, clutched his cold iron blade closely. He scattered salt in his wake. The walls recoiled from the adventurer, and he slowly limped on. The end of the maze was in sight. The adventurer passed out of the maze and into the center. Up ahead and above was a massive oak, the size of which he had never seen or thought possible. The same voice from before spoke to him. "Well done, brave adventurer. You have reached my heart." A tall and beautiful Eladrin stepped out of the tree then, and slowly approached the adventurer. Her beauty and force of presence brought the adventurer to his knees. She reached him, and the adventurer spoke to her, saying, "Fair Fathaghn, I come in search of a flower worthy of my betrothed. I have beaten your maze, and request that you grant me my heart's desire, as you promised." The Eladrin leaned down to get closer to the adventurer's face, and spoke a question in a whisper. "You wish to make a bargain? Your heart's desire, as a reward for beating my maze?" "Yes, Fathaghn, I agree, the adventurer said. "Then it is done, done, done!" She said the last in a scream. The adventurer was about to speak, his face furrowed in alarm. But before he could, her hand shot forth, and in a flash she ripped the adventurer's heart from his chest. Holding it up before him, she lifted it to her ear. "To truly know your heart's desire, I must hear it up close," she said in a whisper to the dead man. It is true, what a lovely wish! Your beloved shall have all the flowers she could ever desire." And from that day forth, the hillside near the home of the adventurer's beloved was and will always be in bloom.